something on. Oh yeah, what do we got here? Is it a muskie or a northern? We got a smallmouth bass here, all right. He doesn't want to teach me. I'm not worthy? Oh goodness, I am not worthy. This one's ready to go. You're nice and chunky. The airplane's about to land on the other lake. There he goes. Wave to the airplane. Hey, happy Wednesday everyone. Back on the road again. Day number 2 up north. Gonna hit some lakes for fishing. I had a horrible night's rest. When we get on the water, I gotta tell you all about that. All right, this is where we're gonna put in. Okay, so we got a lake that way, a lake that way. There's 3 lakes that connect up here that I'll be able to hit. This area I like, load it with pads, and then a quick drop off out there, and had a lot of musky fowls in that area. Whatever I catch today, I'm gonna be happy. I'm feeling a little talkative today, so it's not gonna be one of those quiet fishing days. I got stuff to say. So good morning, fellow fishermen and raccoon lovers alike. I got about 3 to 4 hours of sleep last night. Yesterday was just beautiful. The water was like glass like this. It's gonna be windier out there today. And so after a full day of fishing, and I fish till, you know, the sun goes down, I go back to the hotel, and I notice a real heavy smell of mildew in my room. And I go look in the bathroom, and on the ceiling it's just caked with mildew. And I'm a professional painter, so I know all about this stuff. And I thought, oh, I'm gonna close the door and put on the air conditioning, and I gotta eat dinner. And before you know it, the office is closed and I can't ask for a new room, so I gotta spend the night. And it seems like as the night progresses, the smell just gets worse. And I'm unable to sleep. Like, I'm trying to cover my face with a blanket because the smell is just atrocious. So I might be running on fumes today. I didn't sleep so good. But this morning I complained and I got out of that room, and they put me in a king suite with a whirlpool. So my wife is going to be jealous. So at the end of the day today, I might have to soak in that whirlpool. But yeah, like I mentioned, this is a 3-lake chain. There's just about everything in these lakes you can imagine. It has all species of fish. But you know me, I like to target bass. But I brought so much tackle today in case I just feel like switching things up, and maybe instead of always going after largemouth, if I want to go after smallmouth bass. There's crayfish in these lakes, and the smallmouth bass love the crayfish. So maybe I could find something that mimics that and look for some rocky drop-offs and go for smallmouth bass. But I hope you join me again today. Like I said, I'm feeling a little talkative. So I'm gonna yak, yak, yak today instead of being so quiet. All right, first fish of the day. Just a little bit on the water. I love the looks of this right here. Oh, I don't like that. I don't like that. It's shallow. Be quiet. Got these nice clumps of lily pad roots. I was just about to switch worms too, thinking maybe this color isn't right for this lake. And then he hit right in this clump up here. So yeah, years ago I never stayed in hotels up here. I would camp. And it used to be something where my brother and I, it'd be like a Friday or a Thursday, and we would work to 3 o'clock. We would drive 4.5 hours up here, immediately put the canoe on a little body of water, try and get a bunch of the evening bass, and then it would get dark and we would set up our tent on that lake. And for breakfast it was like granola bar and a couple bananas and water, and then we'd be all day on a lake like this. And I think we used to come to this lake. So I'm on Indian reservation land again. There are houses on these lakes, but I've had fun fishing in the past, so I want to come back here. It's been a long time since I've done it. So yeah, now I'm a wuss. Now I go to a hotel, but really when I look for a hotel, I'm just looking for a bed. I don't care about the amenities so much, because my camping days are over with. I'm just like, you're always feeling sticky and you don't always sleep so good. I've had bears in my campsite at night, so I'm a hotel person now. I got a nice shower I could use at the end of the day. So I'm really thinking about my brothers on this trip, on all the times we had fun outings up here, and we would just hit it hard for four days of fish. Ooh, I wish I had the camera on for that one. He came out like a bolt of lightning under that glop of roots. Not that big, but wow, what a lot of fun. So yeah, talking about my brothers, I have 4 older brothers, 2 older sisters. I am the youngest of 7. I guess the color doesn't matter back here. Keep this worm on. And I was talking to one of my brothers recently, and I told him, man, you know, I'm half a century old now and I just can't do it like I used to in the past. That fishing all day game, sitting in this canoe is just, you know, there's a toll, there's a price to be paid for that. And especially if you want to do 4 or 5 days in a row of hitting it hard like this. And he said to me, you just got to fight it. You got to stay young as long as possible. And I was thinking about that, and we got a lot of bad backs in our family, and I have a bad back too. And I've watched my brothers not really be able to do this anymore. They've kind of grown out of this hobby. And I know they love it as much as I love it. So I'm thinking, I gotta get it while I can. So this year I'm really hitting it hard. This is my 3rd time up north. Something I haven't been able to do in years. Hi duckies. Where are the fishies? You gonna show me? They're that way? I don't know about you other bass fishermen, but I really like the tiny lily pads for working a worm over. Got a much better chance of keeping the fish on because they're pretty flimsy as opposed to a big lily pad. And they seem to like to hold up in it. Out of those pads. Got a mix of cabbage and pads here. I'm starting to hug this shoreline because the wind is picking up. Tried my spinnerbait out there. It's kind of just like a giant mud flat, really shallow. Even right here, we're maybe 3 feet of water. These are just tiny little cabbage weeds. So I think once we get past this little point, maybe even farther out yet is when the drop-off is. It's quite an expansive flat of mud all the way to that back lake. That's kind of like a round little lake, loaded with cabbage and lily pads. This one has the houses on it mostly. This has a mix of you know, walleye, smallmouth bass, largemouth bass, tiger muskie, northern. On this side I've all run into. I don't know if you could hear that in the distance. There's an airplane on the other lake. These bluegills are just being so aggressive today. I mean, look at that. The thing is, they keep pulling the hook out of the worm. They really tug on the back of the tail, and you'll see sometimes they bite off that very tip of the tail. They're a real pain in the butt. Oh, there's the airplane that just took off. I think I gotta put anchor down. That wind is grabbing me. You know, there's actually some there's some big money up here. Some of the people that live on these lakes. This is Indian territory, and there's a casino nearby that has really enriched the people up here. I think in our state, it's like $6 billion a year industry, the casinos. All right. Boy, I'm tempted to put anchor down here. Finally getting into some deep water. I gotta back up. A lot of deep weeds. This is the area where I've caught muskie before too, tiger muskies. You know, the shallow pads weren't all that great for bass. So I'm hoping things change out here. That maybe they're hanging a little deeper off the edges. Again, the deer flies and horse flies are just nailing my ankles, and I'm loaded up with bug spray. So in the intro you heard me mention raccoons. Little loon, I got something for you. And for those of you that just know my fishing channel, I originally started my channel playing with wild raccoons, and I mean playing full time, like every night. I was setting up contraptions on my patio, having a good time with the raccoons. That lasted until last year, about 1 year ago, where my city came in and said, your neighbors are complaining there's too many raccoons coming through their yard. There were no reports of damage, no reports of injuries. But they said there's no feeding allowed in our city. You gotta shut down, or you're gonna face a $50,000 to $5,000 per incident fine. And because I fed every day, that would be $50,000 to $5,000 a day. And I never figured out if my neighbors knew of my YouTube channel, watching me perform all my games with the raccoons. So I'd encourage you to go take a look at that. It's extremely entertaining. There's nothing else like it on YouTube. I got my raccoons to play sports. We celebrated holidays. I got them to pounce on the piano, on the guitar, got them to make art. All sorts of challenges I put out for them. So give that a look, guys. We got a smallmouth bass here, all right. You know, this guy gave me another shot. He hit it and I'm like, wow, that's a real funny hit. And he let go, but I felt his weight the first time, so I knew it wasn't a panfish. And then I thought, well, I gotta try it again. I was leaning towards it was a northern messing with me. But all right, we got a smallie. There's no reason why a smallmouth bass wouldn't like a bait like this. On lakes like this, I have both species, especially this motor oil color. It's more towards that crayfish color. They like that. There we go. Nothing too big yet, but they're in here. This guy hit pretty close to the boat. Well, they are not in the pads, which is my specialized style of fishing. So I gotta just go back and forth with the wind, maybe put anchor down here and there, and learn from the loon. The loon's hanging out on the edge. He knows where everything is. If he's chasing bait, the fish are chasing bait too. So I have to be a student to nature. Observe its every move and mimic it. Sorry, I started back on my canoe up and he came up right behind me and he did not like that. I'm done. I'm not gonna mess with you. Chill, chill. I'm your student, remember? Teach me. Oh, he doesn't want to teach me. I'm not worthy? Oh goodness, I am not worthy. Yes, you're putting on quite the show. Yes, you're big, you're tough. That's right, look down, just go back to hunting. Go back to hunting. He's as bad as me, he doesn't want to share his fishing spot. That's how I am too. It's all right. See, look. Yeah. He's jealous. He saw me catch that fish. Ooh, he's down there deep. He's gonna come up right next to me and nail me with that beak. Where is he? That was quite a display right there. I've never seen that before. Wow, look how far he went. That's where he was, that's where he ended up. No, not the bottom lip. Stop, wind. I haven't hit this area yet. Oh, the wind. Oh, right in your tongue, buddy. Okay, put you on this side away from the muskies. That's what surprises me about where they are. It's like they're in musky waters. Swing and a miss. I'm gonna blame this GoPro, me turning it on. They get off. A little bit of a slow period here. I mean, I've been getting some little ones, but I'm not turning the camera on for that. These shallows are loaded with big bluegills that really cause me havoc. And it's incredible the wake they leave behind this worm. You would think a bass is following, but they will follow for the longest time and just keep nipping at that tail, and then they grab that tail and they just jerk, 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 jerk. They'll pull the hook right out. Bass usually doesn't follow that long. Here comes something. Came flying in. Don't know what it is. Bluegill. Oh. Something came out. Bluegill. See that? They are just pests. And they're wrecking my worms. That's the other thing. They will do this. Take me right to the pads. Because they pull on it so much it gets the hook out, and then my hook goes right into the pad. I gotta paddle over there and unhook myself. So usually I love the shallows, but actually I kind of like getting the bass out on the edges because these bluegills are just a pest. And I'm really not getting into any decent bass in the shallows anyways. Every lake is so different. And the amount of game fish in here are large game fish, musky and northern. That might have something to do with it too, where they hold up. Oh, oh. See that bluegill come flying out? Let go, let go, let go. Gonna wreck my tail. I don't know, you would think because of the muskies and northerns that the bass would want to be in the shallows. Look how strong these bluegills are. Just holding on to the, and they're big too. But I am not going for that today. I'm up north not to catch panfish to eat. I'm up here to get game fish and release everything. Okay. I think my day's about to change. Jet ski. Oh, look at all this beautiful cabbage here. Well, if this jet skier is going to go round and round, I might go to one of the other lakes. But it sounds like he came from one of the other lakes, so he's probably going to be cruising all 3 lakes. Ugh. I still think my rule should hold. The lake has to be 1,000 acres or more for an annoying jet ski. Something on. Oh yeah. What do we got here? Is it a muskie or a northern? Northern pike. Fishermen are waving hello. There we go. Successful unhooking. Slimy hands. Wasn't trying to show off. I was hoping it was a muskie. And I'm getting real close to wanting to leave this lake. The boat traffic's picked up and the jet skiers are out. And I know of little wilderness lakes near here that are much more my style. Oh boy, I hate this when this happens. It gets all twisted in there. We'll see. I'm gonna give it a little bit more. Here comes the waves. Thank you for giving me another chance. That's why I turned on the camera. He blew up right where those tall lily pad flowers are. Well, you're probably the biggest one of the day so far. You're making me want to stay at this lake now. I don't know. You're only 15.5 inches. Ooh, that was fun though. He completely missed the worm the first time. So I knew there was a good chance he'd let me go at it again. Something just whacked at a dragonfly. That sounded more like a bluegill, but just to be sure. Oh, 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 oh. Yep, I think it's a bluegill. There he is, pecking on that tail. All right, Mr. Bass. The airplane's about to land on the other lake. There he goes. Wave to the airplane. You'd think we were up in Canada or something. Well, guys, I am going to take a lunch break. And I came right where the beaver's been hard at work. Look at all this. Wow, you really chewed on this birch tree up here. Look at that. That looks pretty fresh too. Wow. Look at all this. Look at how he notched that all out. Breaking it into pieces. He's got some work left to do. This one's ready to go. Very quiet back here now that the jet skiers shut up. Is there something wrong with me, guys? Why is it I just always want complete silence and I want lakes all to myself? I have a real inability to share. Alright guys, I'm gonna head over to one of the connecting lakes. So I got a bit of a paddle into the wind. I really hope that the wind isn't as crazy on the other lake. The other lake will be the one the airplane landed on. So it's a big body of water, but there are a couple shorelines that I've had good success on. So if it's manageable, I'll give it a shot. If not, I'm gonna turn around, put the canoe back on the van, and go to a nice little lake with no houses on it. And that'll be my evening. Here's one of the other lakes. Goes way down, it curves way to the left, goes back to the right. There's a channel that shoots off to an ink pot lake. That's pretty decent in size. That's going to be real windy. I'm not even sure that I can really fish this. Usually this bay here is a bay I like to fish because of all the weeds. The wind's just coming straight at me. You can see the line of the weeds here. That's the wind's direction. Oh, I just might have to not waste my time, turn around and go to a little wilderness lake. Because I'm just going to be cussing and swearing. But a quick little story. It just hit me. A couple days ago, my brother-in-law and I spoke, and he was out biking on the bike trail, and he came across a bunch of $100 bills scattered all over the place. And excitedly, he starts plucking them all off the ground. And he finds 14 of them, so that's $1,400. He bikes home, takes them out of his pocket, and he's looking at everything going, oh my gosh, these are the real deal. It's got the blue line on it, it's got the fibers in the paper. And then he sees something on it that says, for motion picture purposes only, copy. But it raises a question. If you find a certain amount of money out and about, like what's the amount where you just keep it to yourself, finders keepers? What's the amount where you're like, oh my goodness, I better go to the police, something's not right here? Put that in the comments section. I'd be really curious to know. I gotta be able to say I caught something out of this lake at least. Can't say I'm skunked on this lake. One tiny little protected bay. I'm gonna hit this and then make my decision. Oh, you flies! They're just taking chunks out of my ankle. I've sprayed it I don't know how many times. Wicket! Wicket, wicket, wicket! Can you picture a world with no mosquitoes? Ooh, ooh, ooh. What was that? Whatever it is, it let go. Probably saw the tip of my canoe. Oh, spooked something right there. Wind, stop so I can work this. Please, please, please. I think I gotta switch worms. Oh, this looks really juicy. Oh. Oh, 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 oh. Does he got it? Does he got it? No, he doesn't got it. Shoot, shoot, shoot. Stop, wind, stop, wind, stop. I need another chance at him. Quick, 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 quick. Right there, right there, right there. Slurp it, slurp it. Nope, he's on to me. Got weeds on my worm. Something's got it, something's got it. Batzen Sie Deutsch. You gave me another chance. Thank you. Not big, but lots of fun when you get the shore action. Wow, look at that beaver went to town on that birch over there. You know what? I need a new worm. Bluegills have torn this up. Oh yeah, this guy fouled right to the canoe and did a big slurp. Thank you. All right, son. Let me get that lit. Well, am I gonna have to stick around a little longer? These are the questions I have. 16. You're nice and chunky. Came right to the canoe, right here, hit it. It's fun when you see them give chase, and then that big mouth opens up. What's funny is I cast that thing a couple times already. Well, I got this guy about 12 feet down. I thought, what the heck, I'll do this little drift and just let it sink all the way down. Where's my hook out? A lot in that size range I noticed today. I might cut across and just let the wind take me, and I might plug for muskie down that weed line. Oh, got off. Got the spinnerbait going, hoping to get a muskie or northern. Bass are okay. He gave that a nice big thug. Too bad he got off. Always heard that muskie like windy conditions. They like that chop. I do have a small little topwater too, a mini Zara spook, but I'm moving so fast and I'm just figuring spinnerbait's the way to go. I can work it real fast. Just hope to get a good quick reaction strike from something. The better one. Come on. Oh, he touched the boat and he touched my hand. He looked close to 18 inches. Woo! Doing the fast action here. Just plugging as fast as I can before the wind takes me all the way to shore. He hit that thing pretty much the second it hit the water. Oh, got some weeds. Okay, I'm saying enough is enough with this. This wind is just kicking my butt. It's hard to speed fish in a canoe. I'm going to take the creek back to the boat launch, and I'm not going to call it a day. I'm going to take a little break and then go head off to a little lake, and maybe I'll get a whole different video out of that. One northern today, no muskies. I was really hoping to get a muskie here. That last bass I had on that I got to the boat and touched was probably the big one of the day. Too bad I couldn't hold it up for the camera. I'm guessing around 18 inches. So it was fun, but the wind, the jet ski, the boat traffic gives it a minus in my book, because I require perfection. I want a perfectly calm lake with no mosquitoes, no horse flies, no deer flies, lots of big fish, no wind, maybe a little tiki bar on the shore where I can get a Corona or a margarita. Happy Wednesday, guys.